Hey there, fam, how's it going today? I'm gonna go ahead and take a seat with you today there, guys. All right, so happy Tuesday, Trainer Tip Tuesday. It is Coach Paul coming back at you guys. All right, so I wanna go over some chest presses today. Okay, so I know typically with some upper body work, we're always thinking, hey, this is arms that are working and whatnot. Yes, they're working. Yes, the hands are holding the weight, but you really want to mentally lock in that you're using your major muscle groups. That's going to be your pectoral majora. So this is going to be chest muscles. Okay. So I'm going to use these 20-pound dumbbells to demonstrate for you, fam, to help hone in on this form. Because just notice there's some things that are commonly done wrong with the chest press form. So first things first, yes, you have your dumbbells, but when you lay down flat on this mat, there's gonna be some important things to remember. So if you recall another Trainer Tip Tuesday video, if you watched it or not, if that sumo deadlift technique there. So again, the head is very important as you lay it down to the mat. You wanna make sure that your head's nice and relaxed there. Now, we always say, yes, feet are firmly planted on this mat. Make sure your lower back pushes to the mat so you engage that core. Yes, all that's great, yes. But the one thing that we miss out on, okay, squeeze these shoulders. Okay, I know you can physically see me do that. Now my chest is out. Now you see the more roundness here. You see the upper rib cage here, the serratus. Now, this is the proper position for your chest press. You want to make sure these upper shoulder blade muscles are squeezed into that mat to where you almost cannot move these arms from this position. They stay locked and loaded right here. Now brace that core, belly button spine, right? I'm gonna stay in this position real quick before I even grab these dumbbells, okay, to emphasize why. As we squeeze these shoulder blades against this mat, it opens up the chest. The muscles that need to be stretched out and put under tension are now ready and primed to work. As we're gonna grab the dumbbells and load them up. Again, I'm not gonna grab them just yet. I'm gonna show you just without. So I have my imaginary dumbbells right now. You wanna always make sure it's like turn on the hand and you see how those arms slightly drop down. What I did was squeeze my shoulder blades more against the mat, sticking my chest out more. As I did that, that brought my hands out. Not here, but out. What that did was alignment. I talked about it before. Wrist, elbows, and shoulder. Very important there. So when you lower it down, it's like tuck on the elbow, right there next to the nipple line. Yes, that's the safest place to lower down the dumbbells as you press back over that center line. Now, I'm gonna set it up, grab the dumbbells, and show you with the weight. But again, this is how we want the back rested on this mat. So this chest muscle group is gonna be actually worked to its best, okay? There will be a small, slight arch in that lower back, but not too much. If you can't physically push it down, engage that core. There's a lot to think about, but you need to really make sure that you are dug into that mat. Feet are firm. Now, the common mistakes are this. You're gonna see the huge difference here now. Now watch this. I relax out of everything. Now, I know you can kind of see that in the video. My back is now more pushed into the mat here. There's no longer an engagement in my core. I'm now lax. These shoulders now have free range of motion. Look at this. They're rounding off the mat. They're no longer down and hugged against the mat, just like so. You see that difference? This is me being squeezed against the mat, contracting the shoulder blades against the mat. Hugging the mat is the cue. Hug the mat with those shoulders. Once I stop hugging, you see that disengagement right away. Now, very important that you keep the head still. Do not bring the head off of the mat there. It does create that curvature in your upper spine, and that can create and lead to neck issues leading down the road if you continue to press that way. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and slowly sit it up, or I use my hands to get myself up there. All right, many other ways you can get up the safe way. Not the core straight to do that. All well and fine, okay? But now, here's some techniques. So, ladies, guys, all right, fam. When you're like, oh, but what happens, coach, if I need to have some heavier dumbbells or a heavier weight and I don't have anywhere or anyone to help me out real quick, like the coach is more specific because I don't want to stop my classmate from getting their workout in, getting their reps done. So let me teach you a small technique here. So if you're moving up on that weight, either way with the weights, period, doesn't matter what size dumbbells you're using. Now, one good hack that you can do is you pick them up, all right, like you went for that hammer grip, right? Now, place on the thigh, but do not just like let them just free fall in the thighs there, okay? They're all muscles, they are sensitive, they will kind of hurt a bit there. So, you know, guide them on there, nice and soft. As you lay it back, you will slide those heels with the mat, okay? Now again, as my hands are here, I'm still pushing them against my thighs to create that support. Now, I'm going to create my base, I'm gonna create that tension, okay? I'm gonna stick my chest out. I'm gonna hug. Remember what I said? Hug those shoulder blades. See that difference there? This is me hug. This is me not hug on the mat there. Now, as I hug the floor there, you can slightly push just like so to get those hands in place. You see right away, my hands are in place right away as my shoulders are squeezed against that mat. If my shoulders are not squeezed against the mat, you will notice the difference within my grip. Now watch this, relax. You see that? How my chest went in, my stomach went in some more. Now, stick chest out, my hands came out more, come in, they travel in further. Okay, you see that from this view, but I will turn the other way here in just a moment. Now, again, let me re-squeeze my shoulders to the mat, my lower back pushing to the mat. It sounds like this because my core is braced now. It's nice and tight. Okay, slight tuck in those elbows, about 45 degrees there, hands are at an angle. Those wrists are straight. If they're back here, it will cause wrist pain. It'll transfer all that force of energy onto the front part of your arms. I'm gonna place one dumbbell down here. That will transfer all that energy into the front of the forearm, into the bicep, right into the front of your front deltoid there. So when you're performing that press there, you see that causes a lot of pain in the wrist, a lot of pain in that shoulder there. So straighten that wrist out. Find my matching pair. There we go. We're here. We're locked in. 45 degrees. Hands slightly tucked. And then that lower down. Remember, 1, 2. Elbows would touch the mat. Now you see that my hands are still in line with those elbows. They are not inside here, nor are they past. That causes shoulder pain. That causes elbow pain. Line them up right here. You should set this dumbbell in the medius part of the palm. As you press directly over that level. You're not meeting these dumbbells back together. Keep a slight tuck on those wrists as you engage those chest muscles while squeezing those shoulder blades against that mat again. And nose, out out. Use that power. That breathing is power. You may rotate, drop elbows down, set down like so to rest in between a set. And then once you're ready to get back in there, you can go ahead and grab those dumbbells. Again, nice firm grip. You can place it on those thighs if they're too heavy, or if you needed to from this position, if you need to slowly set it up, whichever way you can do so. Reset once again. 1, lay it back, squeeze those shoulders. Let's place those hands up. Let's turn these hands ever so slightly. Again, for the hug the mat there, and hands are in line, elbow, shoulder, wrist. And we slowly lower down, 1, 2, directly over that straight line once again. All right, fam, so make sure that we are breathing in down and then out on the way up. You should primarily feel your chest muscles working as you squeeze the shoulder blades against the mat and push them down. If you do not push them down and squeeze or hug, you will be shrugged up like so. And when you're performing these presses, you will look like this. And that is bad for your shoulders. This is bad for your neck. And it's not even working the right part of your chest, and nor is it really engaging your chest muscles there. It's working more of your shoulders, the front of the delts there. That is not the primary muscle group. When I say primary, that is not the first muscle group that should be working on that exercise. It should be these chest muscles. These are secondary, and then your triceps, back of these arms here. That's the third muscle group that's involved in that exercise. It is kind of total body, to be honest. But in terms of being specific and target specific, that's what we're focusing on. So remember, we talked about posture. Make sure that the neck is aligned, make sure it's neutral, make sure that we are squeezing these shoulder blades against this mat. So fellas, ladies, cue is stick your chest out, walk out. I tend to do that at times. I don't know if y'all see me sometimes. I'm coaching sometimes. I may do this number sometimes. I like to fix my cross at times. or do it just to make sure that, hey, I stay rolled back. Because if I don't do this number, now I walk around like this, like most people, and it just causes a lot of pain. A lot of postural issues can occur from that. So I'm gonna make sure, even as you're sitting down, I mean, you always make sure shoulders are back, taking that chest out no matter what. It's the proper way, never this way. It causes too much. It can lead to a lot of overuse of the shoulder muscles there, and it can just lead to stiffness and over tightness there. Lots of issues. We don't even want to go down that road. So again, make sure that we're squeezing the shoulder blades against the mat, stick that chest out, have a slight tuck of those elbows, make sure that we stay in line from that wrist and that elbow there. Elbows do touch that mat. Always breathe, guys, in, nose, out, mouth, and try to focus again on some deep breathing to where you're using your diaphragm and not just your chest. I'll go into that on another training tip Tuesday, guys, okay? So hopefully that helps you out with the chest press there. Again, kind of one last little nugget to leave you with. You got to really make sure you're making that mind to muscle connection. You're thinking, it's my chest that's working here, not my shoulders. And so obviously good. If you don't count your reps, there's no other way to gauge your rep range as far as strength goes, besides the 8, 10, 12 rep range. If you're in here and you're constantly banging out, you know, some 12s, 15s, 20s, and each time you're getting consistent 8, 10, and it's just like easy, and you're like, oh man, but I got this every single time. Let's move up just a little bit, okay? As long as you are continuing to work on your form and you're doing those things the right way, you are safe to move up on this weight, especially on those strength days when we have those reps on there. Take advantage of that. That's why it's important on those days that you truly slow it down so you can kind of really zero in on that muscle group that we are working, okay? So hope that helps you out with the Training Tip Tuesday, chest presses. I do apologize if that's a little bit longer than normal, but it's just really important that we get these small little minute things down, because the details matter, the small things matter, especially when it comes into the fitness industry, and especially if you're talking about longevity. If you're trying to stay in the fitness game for a long time, you just start your journey, you lose your weight, and then you're like, hey, I'm gonna build some lean muscle now. I'm gonna continue my journey. My journey is never over. Things of that sort, because to be honest, guys, once you start your journey, it never ends. You'll eventually find your way back to that road to where you want to get back into shape again. So just make sure that you are continuing to focusing on form, honing in on it. That way you're not always focusing on like numbers on the scale, things of that sort. Just focus on strength, and the rest will take care of itself. Again, that'll be like another video. Just want to make sure that y'all taking that in as far as like, how do I know I'm getting strong on chest press? Think about that 8, 10, 12 rep range. They should be challenging, not easy, okay? Because what's easy isn't worth it. What is hard is worth it, right? And how it goes, hard work pays off. All right, so again, hopefully that helps you out. Chest presses, Training Tip Tuesday. Have a good one, y'all.